It was the ultimate test of my skills as a Disney travel planner. A 2-week transatlantic trip with an infant. Kai wasn't yet a year old, but he is always up for anything. This adventure started in Providence, where a town car picked us up for the hour or so ride to Boston's Logan Airport. For those of us who live in this part of New England, Logan is an excellent travel hub, where you can grab direct flights to almost anywhere. We have a family travel rule of limiting plane changes as much as possible. So, even though we live only 15 minutes from the Providence airport, the investment of time in the drive to Boston and the cost of the town car was well worth it. While one of my travel planning principles is to make sure my clients get the most Disney for every dollar, sometimes that means maintaining your sanity so that you can enjoy your Disney experience. So taking the town car to Logan absolutely fit into that. Once we got to the airport, getting through security was pretty easy. The TSA pre-check system can work really well to speed you and your family through those lines, even though there will always be a pause if you're carrying things like bottles of formula, which we had lots of. After security, we made our way to the Lufthansa lounge, which was lovely. It was easy to find seats, and the lounge itself was clean, fresh, and airy. It also had a wide variety of great food and drinks, all complimentary, which helps when you factor eating into your travel investment. And Kai, whose nickname at home is Goo, seems to find a way to make a good time for himself wherever he is. After just an hour or so, we were off to our departure terminal, making sure we had the bare essentials, our son and the ship's Captain Duffy, a gift from the crew of the Disney Fantasy on a previous cruise. The terminal for our flight was a pretty long walk from the Lufthansa lounge, but we were happy to find that it was on time, which isn't surprising really with SAS. Kai, of course, had his own way to spend time. We were lucky that we were allowed to board the plane early because we had an infant. This enabled us to get settled with him with the help of a terrific crew, another SAS hallmark.
We are in business class on SAS. We're getting ready for takeoff.
Fasten your seatbelt now,
They
raise your
just
seat
showed me how
back
to
and
do the
table
nifty
to an
safety
upright
belt for
position.
him.
And please note that window
Which
shades
is the,
must
this is
be
the 4th time
open.
we've flown with him, the first time that anyone's had this, but I love it.
Vi forbereder nu til at
Vi har
starte
det
ved næste flytilfælde på de
and,
mobiltelefoner
someone's having a great
af
time.
elektronisk udstyr.
Never underestimate the added value to the price of your trip of an empathetic, experienced flight crew. As a Disney travel planner, I'm on the lookout for how my clients can get more than what they pay for, and smart travel choices are certainly part of that. Even the comfort kit was a little surprise, like pixie dust. I couldn't get enough of these amazing socks. Kai and I were soon all set for takeoff, with a crunchable water bottle for a toy and Meet Me in St. Louis, one of my all-time favorite movies, on the screen. It's hard to imagine how we could have been more comfortable on a 6-hour transatlantic flight with a baby. Of course, once Kai was safely settled, a cocktail didn't hurt. And, like with the water bottle, Kai can occupy himself with almost anything, especially if it's tech that can bang around. Because we had worked to schedule it this way, it wasn't long before we were at Kai's regular bedtime and he went straight to it. So did I. After a few short hours of snuggling, the sun was up and so was Kai.
We're in the bunny fun zone on SAS. Only bunnies can make a zone like this. We're snuggly, we've got tech to eat, we're doing great.
And just like that, in what seemed like the blink of an eye, we were beginning our descent into Copenhagen, one of our favorite places.
We just landed in Copenhagen. What do you think? Great flight. Got about an hour and a half of sleep. Someone's psyched. So we gotta go through immigration, and then Disney will pick us up and take us to the hotel.
The Copenhagen airport is really easy to navigate, and just being in Denmark immediately perked us all up. So even though we were still tired, the whole family was excited to start our Northern Europe and Scandinavia Disney adventure. Especially when a terrific Disney rep was there to pick us up at the airport. So we're on the Disney transportation from Copenhagen Airport. We've got it good.
He's sussing, seems pretty happy so far, and we're on our way to Tivoli Hotel.
Disney collected us and delivered us to the Tivoli Hotel and Congress Center, which was one of the main Disney hotels for passengers on our cruise. Hans Christian Andersen and his creations were everywhere, and what a welcome that was. We had thought that the hotel was connected with Tivoli Gardens, the amusement park that inspired Walt Disney, but we quickly learned it was only inspired by the park, not really associated with it. Unfortunately though, because it was still so early, not even 8 in the morning there yet, our room was not close to being ready for us. So after some fun time in a nifty playroom at the hotel and a quick refresh for all of us, we were off again. We walked the 10 minutes from the hotel to Copenhagen Central Station, which is literally across the street from Tivoli Gardens, and quickly and easily grabbed a public train, the M1 Metro, to the neighborhood of Copenhagen around the Citadel on the eastern shore of Copenhagen Harbor. As you may have guessed, this wasn't our first time in Copenhagen. It might be our favorite city on the planet, and we were excited to introduce Kai to it. So we knew our way around and had pretty clear plans for the day. We knew that, arriving on a Sunday morning, we wanted to get to the area around the Citadel and Churchill Park, where there was a lot to do without having to walk too far or rely on a lot of public transportation, although public transportation in Copenhagen and throughout Denmark is really stellar. Our Sunday plan included attending service at St. Albans Church, seeing the Little Mermaid, and visiting the Museum of the Danish Resistance, all of which are within a few short blocks of each other. So we had a lovely walk in the park around the Citadel, except we were soon hit by the heat of the most intense summer that Copenhagen had ever experienced. The all-time highest temperature record was set just a few weeks before when the city reached 96.1 degrees Fahrenheit on July 20th, beating the record set in 1941. But it was still bearable when we walked around the Citadel, which is one of the best preserved fortresses in Northern Europe. It was built by Denmark's King Christian IV in 1627, and the public park is situated around its bastions and ramparts. It's still used by the Danish military today, but they don't stop you from going anywhere to have a picnic or run or just a peaceful stroll. And we, of course, couldn't pass up the chance to introduce Kai to Ariel, who sits at the edge of the harbor near the beginning of a promenade that extends along the water, connecting the Citadel neighborhood with downtown. We named Kai for a character in a famous Hans Christian Andersen story, so everything associated with the stories has a special meaning for us. The famous bronze version of Ariel has been there since 1913, given to the city of Copenhagen as a gift by the son of the founder of the Carlsberg Brewery. But St. Albans Bells beckoned us for its 10:30 service. It's the only Episcopal church in the city and conducts everything in English. We really love it for all kinds of reasons. Built in 1885 to provide a place for the Prince of Wales, later Edward VII, to attend service while visiting Copenhagen with his wife, the Danish Princess Alexandra, during World War II it was used as a secret meeting place for the Danish resistance to the Nazi occupiers. We tried to attend service whenever we're in the city. Speaking of Copenhagen's World War II history, an absolute must-see is the relatively new Museum of Danish Resistance, just a short walk from St. Albans and the Little Mermaid. I'm really interested in World War II, especially the resistance to the Nazis and the places they occupied. Denmark's resistance story is fascinating, and it's told so well by this museum. The experience costs only 110 Danish kroner, about $15 American, and it's pretty impactful. The story is told in an engaging, immersive way, taking visitors chronologically through the experience of Nazi occupation, almost as if you were experiencing it yourself, as you follow the stories of real Danes and the choices they had to make. Even with an infant, it was a great investment of our time. It took us about an hour, although we could have spent twice that much time and still been engrossed in the experience, and it was easily accessible in English, like just about everything in Denmark. The story of the evacuation of the Danish Jewish community was especially impactful and inspiring, and even Kai was able to participate in some of the interactive elements. He'll of course appreciate the content more when he's older, so we're definitely going back. But after all that, it was time for a break, and we found the perfect place, and it was only an elevator ride 2 stories, to the museum's own cafe. We are at the cafe at the Museum of Danish Resistance, and in our experience, Scandinavian museum cafes have been excellent, and so we decided to give this a try, and we're so glad that we did. It's cool, it's light, it's refreshing, and we ordered these excellent small bread sandwiches, which they made from scratch. There's been a game that Kui's been playing, a lovely view, and we're just getting some refreshments. The Danish open-faced sandwiches, I'm terrible at pronouncing the word, smørrebrød, were only about $13 American, and the staff was super friendly and really welcoming to Kai. It gave us the best possible spot to refuel and relax. After we reset, we went back to the nearest train station for a short return trip to the central train station and hop across the street to the happiest place in Copenhagen, Tivoli Gardens. We bought a multi-day ticket that gave us unlimited access to the parks and the rides and the shows. Kai being under 3, like at Disney, was free. With our hotel being only 10 minutes away and our stay in Copenhagen being a few days, I wasn't going to miss every chance I could get to go there. But as you can imagine, we were flagging again, with the thermostat pushing 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So our first stop in the park was an ice cream stand followed by the cool, in every sense, aquarium under the concert hall. It's been open since 2005 and has a tropical coral reef tank that's almost 100 feet long. Visitors should note that there is an extra 7 kroner charge for the aquarium, but it's definitely worth it. The rides were calling though, and I had already made a list of all the ones that Kai could enjoy, so we were off to the vintage cars first.
Do you see he was holding the steering wheel by the end? We just went on Gui's first ride. It's the Veteran Villarente. It's the vintage car ride, and by the end of it, Gui was steering, and he was driving his own vintage vehicle at Tivoli on a Sunday with all the other little kids having fun.
As much as our spirits would have kept us there longer, even with the heat, our bodies were telling us it was time to go. So we walked back to the hotel and were really happy when we found that our room was ready for us, as we were ready for it.
Okay, our room at the Tivoli is ready. That's good because this guy is exhausted. It's super cute. It's like compact, but it's got everything that you need. Coffee, a bed, and you got a bed for our baby, a little couch, nice courtyard view, a little desk here, table. This is great.
We were really pleased with the room. It had absolutely everything we needed for comfort, including a great portable crib for Kai and plenty of room. And the theming, consistent with the fun of the park, was a really nice bonus, giving us yet again more experience for our dollars. However, although my husband's day was done, I haven't ever seen a swimming opportunity that I could pass up.
We're going to the pool. We've checked in. We've taken showers. Even he took a shower. Now we just want to cool down. It's like 80 degrees. Okay, Gui and I are walking to the pool. It's so hot, so we just want to cool down.
The pool turned out to be just the thing we need, and really beautiful too.
Okay, so Gubit and I just cool down in the pool a little bit. Kind of helps to get rid of that super hot feeling that has been kind of the theme of today. Helped even more than a shower. So that's where we are. Thinking about swimming in the canal, but I don't know if that's too much effort, so we'll see.
But we still weren't done. Public swimming is a big thing in Scandinavia, so I wanted to join
hotel
in.
girls directions. So there's like a pedestrian bridge you have to cross, and then you get to the canal. This looks much more like where I'm supposed to be.
That's how we ended our day. That started in New England and ended almost 24 hours later in the Copenhagen harbor swimming with the Danes and Kai. But then we were so ready for bedtime and another day of adventures in Copenhagen. So stay tuned for day 2.